My name is Michaela, and today we'll be going over the introduction to mediation in this training. The overall goal is to really have the kids understand the process of mediation. For a lot of them, this is something new and different, so you really want to make sure that they have a good grasp on what's going to be going on. There are 3 overall objectives. The first one is to have the parties get to know each other better. The kids, since they're in conflict, most likely are not friends, so you really want to make sure they get to know each other a lot better. You also want to have both parties understand the rules and the purpose of mediation. They really need to know what's going to be going on. They need to know the rules and how they are supposed to be acting and conducting themselves in the mediation process. Also, the third objective is to understand the process of mediation in general before you really dive into the actual process. For this, you really want to have the kids sitting across from each other so they can look each other in the eye and they can see that they're both agreeing to all the rules and everything that's going to be going on. The next part to this training is the icebreaker. For this, you really want the icebreaker to be a get-to-know-you game for the kids. Like I said before, they don't really know each other that well, and it's really important that they can end up relating to each other. It will help come up with a better resolution to the conflict. The get-to-know-you game that I chose is called Value Cards. Each child will receive approximately 10 cards that have words on them that can describe themselves, such as angry, loyal, fun, happy, sad, and any other adjective that can really describe themselves. Each child is going to pick 3 different cards, and then when they pick them, they're going to show me, and I'm going to see if they have any in common. If they do have any in common, I'm going to point that out. So this should probably take about 5 to 8 minutes. After I explain the directions to the kids, I will tell them the goal of this is to really just get to know each other on a more personal level so they can feel more comfortable and open in this mediation. I will also tell them that it's important to be honest about the cards and how they really do feel. Because if they're not, it will throw off the entire process and it won't work how it's supposed to. As a mediator, it's important to pull out the common ground for each child. So I will ask them to explain why they chose those specific cards. Hopefully that will really bring them together and realize that they do have more in common than they might have thought. If all goes well in this icebreaker section, it will be a great starting off point for the kids in mediation. Now I'm going to hand it over to Brandon, who's going to explain the content.
Start this part with the room arrangement of you guys sitting across from each other. And the only material you guys will need is the handout of the goals and specific information needed for the mediation. The goal of the mediation is to improve the quality of the kids' conflict interaction by supporting 2 processes. Those processes are empowerment, which is the party's decision making and choices about what they want to say and what they want to do during the whole conflict. The other one is recognition. That's the ability to achieve new understandings of each other's perspectives and points of view. If the kids do not reach an agreement, then that does not mean the mediation was unsuccessful. So we need the children to sit across from each other and the mediator somewhere in the middle. This is a voluntary process. If either of you feel like you shouldn't be here, then the process will not work. There is no foul language allowed. By the end of the mediation process, preferably you would like to feel like you resolved the issue and understand the whole process. Does anybody have any questions about what we did today?
In conclusion, having a clear introduction is important so the listener understands what is being said. This is the base for everything, whether it's a project or a paper. Wrapping up our group presentation on introduction, focusing on empowerment, parties' decision making, and choices about what they want to say and what they want to do. Recognition is kids' abilities to achieve new understandings for each of the perspectives and point of view. At this time, I would now like to take a minute and pass out a note card, and you write down 3 things that you have learned.